Hello and welcome to Gaia Daily for September 28th to October 1st. I'm Adrienne Elise. So here we are, we're coming to the end of this month, and the theme of today's Gaia Daily is finding balance. So now we have the Sun in Libra and we have Mercury in Libra, and Libra is kind of really good at assimilating and kind of balancing things and coming into this place of harmony. You know, we've been in such drastic, crazy changes on all these levels, not necessarily showing up in our physical life yet, but we're feeling it. It's been tumultuous, been going through so much. And so with the Sun and Mercury here in Libra, it's kind of an opportunity to take a deep breath. Libra is an air sign, just kind of to evaluate things. Libra is also air signs, you know, it's all about kind of being able to conceptualize and understand what's going on. And of course, we're really feeling this prep as Libra is ruled by Venus, and Venus is getting ready already in its retrograde shadow since the beginning of September, getting ready for this retrograde that happens on October 5th. So next week, and we're already really kind of feeling this Venus slowing down and pulling back and kind of bracing for a retrograde into the depths of the underworld of Scorpio. So go ahead and check my video out about that. Really potent time here for these next couple of months. So we're having this kind of balancing point, this kind of like, okay, we've had a lot of transitions, but we're getting used to the new season. We're getting used to the new energies. We're sorting through our life and maybe feeling a little bit more grounded after completing the whole retrograde craziness and all of that. So I hope that you got to see some or be a part of the 21 Days of Presence. It was a really awesome experience, and I got great feedback. It was great for me to claim that presence and really helpful in this time of transition. So thanks for being a part of that. And I am going to do that again. And I'm going to try to keep up with more of these daily videos to keep you in line with what's happening, because it just continues to go on, our intense adventure of being a human on planet Earth at this time. So Chiron on the 25th moved back into Pisces. And so this has been kind of, you know, we've got this Venus preparing to go retrograde, slowing down, Chiron going back into Pisces, into those last degrees, the martyr, the darkness, the dark night of the soul. And, you know, but the one thing about Chiron going back into Pisces is it's coming out of that square with Saturn. And so that's going to kind of, that and this Libra energy is kind of helping us just kind of feel like we can find some inner harmony and a little bit of clarity and a little bit of peace before we delve into the next chapter of this Venus retrograde. So, but this is kind of leaving a big space for Pluto right now. On Sunday, Pluto is going to be turning direct. And so Pluto, when these big planets are retrograde or direct, we don't feel them so much. We really feel the big planets as they shift. We don't really feel it in other times so much. So when these big slow moving planets, big energy, slow moving planets switch switch directions, we really feel it. So Pluto in Capricorn, Pluto is the main player, center stage of this 2020 astrology that we're leading up to in Capricorn. So we're kind of having some energy coming up around this. Pluto is death, rebirth, and transformation. It's like laying waste to the current reality and building something entirely new, or just kind of letting what comes out of the rubble come. And in this case, we're looking at our authoritarian structures. And isn't it interesting, in this crazy political climate in our country and all over the world right now, where we're wrestling with deep secrets that have been being hidden with this Jupiter in Scorpio, and now Jupiter's cruising through. Jupiter is going to come out of its retrograde shadow at the beginning of October. And so that's going to shift the energy. Mars comes out of its retrograde shadow, I believe it's on October 9th. And so we're kind of heading into this, it's like Venus is going down into the depths, She doesn't really like to. She'd like to stay up on the surface and have fun, but she's going into the underworld because she wants a better life. She wants to find out what's in the way, keeping her from really living. And Scorpio is Venus about is what you really love and what you really want. And so Venus retrograde is evaluating that. And down in the depths of Scorpio, it's about trying to find passion and meaning in life and the truth. So it'll be interesting, very individual experiences coming forward around this Venus retrograde. So with Pluto turning direct, it's like, okay, yeah, are we going to start seeing some of the transformation of the physical reality? Saturn is the manifested world, and that's the ruler of Capricorn and in Capricorn. And now we have Pluto turning direct in Capricorn and kind of pointing in the way towards this 2020 astrology when all these planets come together in Capricorn, where we're looking at the breakdown of the structures of this world that are no longer working, particularly around authority and control. So of course, we're all looking at where we've given our power away. And maybe this Pluto direct, it could bring up a lot of emotions. Pluto has just an energy to it, but I think it could also help people see maybe a feeling of changes in the outside world that start to make more sense, or like what this is about more, and kind of getting, it's almost like when we go, planets go retrograde, they're kind of in the shadow, they're in the inner psyche. And then when they go direct, we might see more outer about it. So what is this movement that Pluto's trying to make right now in the powering up that Capricorn energy and kind of asking us to reevaluate these structures of our world and whether or not they're actually built on a sound foundation? Like, does our financial system actually have backing, or is it just like create as much money as you want and play a game with it, right? And so that's kind of the energy going through. It's like these systems that don't have a foundation, like Saturn and Capricorn wants to like have something structurally solid. And the problem is that our systems are not fitting the new energies. They're fitting the old paradigm, the old Piscean age paradigm of domination and control through collective consciousness. And now we have to move into something different. And this is just really coming up right now. So it could be frustration around where things aren't changing, kind of like we felt this summer with the retrograde, but it also could be like seeing actual things in the structures of our world kind of adjust in better ways. So we'll see how that plays out. And one of the main things that's going on around like Chiron's going back into Pisces and kind of pulling us into those past stories of the darkest times on the planet around control energy. So it's kind of coming up in all directions. And then of course, Mars is in its third and final conjunction with the South Node. South Node is in Aquarius. So this is really interesting because we're having all this Capricorn stuff around the structures of our authority, of the way things are set up in our world, and organizational structures. And then we've got Mars hanging out with the South Node, and the South Node is in Aquarius, North Node in Leo, and it's getting ready to move into South Node into Capricorn. But there's kind of an interesting energy here with Mars having that retrograde. And the message coming through is that the Mars retrograde does not make sense. It goes together with the Venus retrograde because they've been dancing around each other with 3 squares and in opposition this year. And then where did we go wrong in the Aquarian age in the past? And this is, we're not really talking about, but it's like the main issue of our time, which is and things that are good for the and sustainable communities and kind of beautiful communities where people are working together to create really great technology, using technology in ways that heals and helps and brings connection back to the planet, okay? That's the ideal picture of the Aquarian age. In the past, we might stick it through, and but there is a huge, massive push to us with these new energies. It's like, make sure you don't do what you did before, right? Well, the Aquarian age is into robots and losing your soul and it's stolen from you, basically. And we're quickly moving towards this with a level of surveillance and technological and energetic frequency vibrational interference. And so it's really, and so I don't know, this is just coming up because we're talking about these structures and technologies. And so this is kind of on the surface right now with the Mars conjunct the South Node. So this is, and so that is, could get this some clarity or some understanding or some sort of conceptual in our psychological, like everyday reality to help us understand what's really happening. It comes direct, what is it for us to change the world, and what do we need to do that to make that happen in the best way without turning and getting our souls sucked into into artificial acts. So it's pretty Mercury. What are the structures of your life that need to be broken down and rehashed and remade? And so we're all in review process, and it's kind of like the fallout of this retrograde season. But now we have to do the mop up, and Venus retrograde is heading us into this deep inner work of our psyche about whether or not we're really truly happy and satisfied, whether or not we're living our truth, whether or not we're valuing ourselves enough to let these new timelines land, whether or not we feel like we deserve our inner gifts and resources, and what kind of stuff in the shadows in the closet is keeping us from this. That's what this Venus retrograde is about. So check out my video on that, and I will hopefully be back in just a couple of days. So thank you so much for joining me and being a part of this energy, holding space on the planet for this transition. And I look forward to seeing you soon. I'm Adrienne Elise. Namaste.